Oh, hello, and welcome to Al Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
I'm Kyle. I botched it again.
It's okay.
And I'm Noah.
I'm so used to the soft opening.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, we're doing another Monster Stocks, y'all.
Yep. Monster Stocks 3?
Yeah, I think this is Trace.
And we're going to be talking about the Toronto Tunnel Monster. Because we need some more Canadian ones.
Yeah.
And we need some ones that...
Canada is a large place, so there's got to be plenty of weird critters out there.
As long as they're not Wendigos.
How come Bigfoot just don't live in Canada?
Oh, they do.
Like,
oh, wait. Why don't they just live in Canada?
Like
okay, I gotcha.
If they existed somewhere, it'd be Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of Canada is just forests.
Well, remember, last time we did this show, we had the Guy... I mentioned the Guy Fieri of Bigfoot that live in northern Ontario.
Oh, right.
The blonde,
frosted tips.
Yeah, the blonde-topped Bigfoot.
Oh, God.
He's so Chad and Alpha that no other Bigfoot betas can get up there.
God.
Yeah, so Toronto Tunnel Monster. I hope you boys did your research, because I did mine.
I did all of several readings of articles.
I watched some videos. I think we might have all read the same Wikia articles about the cryptid. Yeah, I love that little comic on there, but I learned a lot of interesting things about this monster.
It's interesting because it started off basically just off that one sighting in the 70s.
Yeah, it was like 79, it was late 70s or something like that, and just all right, so let's give a brief overview of this critter, because I want to give it a stock rating.
All right.
I've already forgotten the scale, but I think it was really simple, from -10 to +10, so if it wasn't that, then it is now.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Who wants to review it?
Who wants to go first?
Who wants to present their... All right, so basically, it is exactly what it says on the label then. It is a critter that lives in the sewers of Toronto because, Toronto used to... a lot of rivers and streams and waterways and stuff like that.
And now they're all underground.
Yeah, exactly. And basically it's just spoken of as this fuzzy bipedal critter that lived in these rivers before they built tunnels over them. And physical descriptions from what I have seen sort of vary from account to count, as does origin and everything, but that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have anything they would like to add to that?
Well, based on the article, the newspaper article that spawned all of this, the Tunnel Monster of Cabbagetown, because Lord knows Toronto is known for two names back in the day: Hogtown and Cabbagetown.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Toronto.
But yes, apparently in August of 1978, a man named Ernest lost one of his kittens, and it
Hemingway
traced it down. Yeah, Ernest Hemingway, or Ernest Scared Stupid.
That movie terrified me as a child. Straight up, it fucking freaked me out.
But yeah, so he apparently traced the kitten's whereabouts to a small hole in the ground near or on his property, which went into a larger tunnel and linked up to the sewers. And when he went and kind of started going in with a flashlight, he saw this silhouette of a creature, monkey-sized, and apparently it was 3 foot long, large teeth, weighing maybe about 30 pounds, with slate gray fur, and had red and orange slanted eyes, and told him to go away multiple times.
Wait, hold on. The
creature.
Monster said go away?
The creature spoke to him. I'll never forget it. This is what Ernest says. It said, go away, in a hissing voice. So, sorry. Go away.
Oh, Dunk, I really hate that, actually. I didn't know that it could talk. I don't like this at all.
And
so,
yeah, he basically just noped right out of there, shaking in fear. And apparently he didn't actually.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, apparently he didn't. He didn't initially go to the newspaper because, he was afraid that people would think that he was drunk or worse, crazy back in that time. And it really only came to light because somebody from the Toronto Sun heard one of his friends who had heard it from him, because he told his family and friends about the encounter. And then this guy from the Toronto Sun heard of that from that, and then got a hold of him and wrote the article.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds to me like the basis for our stock is furry lil monkey eating cats and living in a sewer.
Yeah, that's the cryptid, the baseline, actual cryptozoology probably angle from it.
So what we're dealing with is a sewer elf.
All right.
Yeah, it is a very, very hungry, possibly alien little critter. It's a juvenile elf looking to eat a bunch of cats.
Oh god! Also, did you guys ever see that movie? Those movies, Critters.
Oh god!
It's just like a weird version of one of those guys, the Krites.
I'm gonna give the Toronto Tunnel. All right, so I want to divorce my stock estimate from it being geographically locked in Toronto.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm trying to hold back a sneeze right now. But so if we are just approaching sewer Alf territory, just a hungry little cat eating, I guess cat acabra, it's a cat chupacabra.
It has been described as a Canadian version of the chupacabra.
Oh, Dunk, I'm sorry again, Canada. Can't even get the chupacabra. I'm going to give its current stock estimate. Definitely right now it's a -10. It can go no lower, in my opinion. I think my projection for this stock is maybe -6. I don't really see this critter as having much upward mobility.
Well, that's just to be fair, that's the cryptid side of it. I see this kind of having as multiple avenues, at least for stocks, for creating a horror, creating a story of some kind for it. Maybe kind of bringing it bringing it back, because you've got several avenues with this monster. We have the cryptid thing with it just being a weird subterranean cat-eating monkey monster, but then we have the alien tunnel bases that apparently are connected to it through conspiracy theories.
I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say to me?
So, Toronto's interesting when it comes to urban legends because we've got a lot.
No, don't work words around this. What the fuck did you just say to me?
So,
did you say that there are some people that think that this thing has an underground alien city?
Well, yes, according to an article by the Torontoist. When they were doing...
No. I'm not past this yet. Does this thing have a city full of other sewer elves?
Yes, apparently. That is one theory.
Dunk. Okay, I'm ready to adjust my stock then. One. I think we can get this into the positives. If you want to make a negative stock on this one, a reverse stock where you want the stock not to be great, too late now because this fucker's going straight up to the positives.
Nice. So there's the other thing. We'll touch on that in a second. But then there's also, again, Toronto has a lot of, like you said, a lot of underground rivers now because we basically just built over rivers.
Makes sense.
And one of the other working theories, is that it's a vengeful nature spirit.
That's one that I saw too. Now, is the one that you read about, and forgive my pronunciation, the Meme Gwesi? that's like
probably
the phonetic
best one,
breakdown I see.
yeah. Yeah, small water spirits usually reside, or usually said to inhabit rivers or riverbanks of the Algonquin mythologies. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And yeah, like, honestly...
I don't know if those spirits eat cats, though. I think they're sort of more just little jerks.
But, yeah, no, like, but... The thing is, like, based on the encounter, like, I'd be pissed off too if my home was put underneath an overpass.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
Also, the fact that, like, Toronto has a bunch of like man-made subterranean rivers, but we also have a lot, at least one or two, like actual subterranean rivers, like cave systems that or tunnels, like natural tunnel systems that feed into Lake Ontario.
Interesting.
And that could be the explanation for why Toronto gets the urban legends of like underground bases and underground cities, because it's kind of like New York, except like New York light when it comes to the subterranean stuff.
New York's most, like, as someone who lives right next to that awful, awful city, it's mostly just, like, crocodiles and, like, rat kings, as far as I know.
Yeah. I just mean, like, all the hobo community that they found, like, that was, like, living there with, like, Wi-Fi and stuff like that, or was that... Is that a real thing?
That might have been New York, but, like, 2 mayors ago, the mayor of New York City killed all the homeless people, so...
Great.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Rounded them all up and killed them. That you want to talk legitimate conspiracy theories?
Yeah.
That's an actual New York conspiracy theory, and it's one that I actually probably think happened at least a little bit.
We need to purge.
Yeah, it's not great. But yeah, New York has a lot of like underground shenanigans. Like there's all sorts of abandoned subway and like cow tunnels and stuff underneath the city. So
yeah,
it was Giuliani. Giuliani killed him. I just had to Google which one it was.
Yeah, and I mean Toronto definitely has the underground stuff. Like if you look up like underground burrowing projects, because they have like these giant like subway makers, basically, these giant like drills and. Mm-hmm. Again, like Toronto was called Hogtown, so I assumed there'd also be tunnels for like moving pigs all over the place,
moving all those like stinky little boys.
Yeah, but yeah, so we have the spirit angle, we have like the vengeful nature spirit angle, or like this thing that's been festering underneath the streets of Toronto in the polluted waters of their old rivers.
There's also the alien angle,
yeah, which
and also then the alien city angle.
Which just
Noah,
like,
what do you got?
Now, I want to combine the two and make it an alien spirit.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it's like a nature spirit
from a different planet.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Alright, that's fresh as fuck.
Yeah. We don't get that actually a lot. Like it's
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't think of a single thing.
It is I want to make the Toronto Tunnel Monster an alien spirit from a different planet or different dimension.
Yeah.
That has instituted itself underneath the city of Toronto.
That would be
just the one,
badass.
There could be more.
No. I want just the one, because if we give me the reins to Alien Spirit City, I'm gonna go buck wild, and I want to be more restrained, because horror is about restraint.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know? Gotta hold off that horror nut. Don't ever hire me to like explain how storytelling works, y'all.
Yeah,
because I will always make a nut allegory.
Well, God,
do you guys want me to go into that article that had the creepy or the weird like tunnel or the claim of a monster base underneath?
Yes. Let's talk about that.
So
is that the Torontoist one that you said?
Yeah, the Torontoist one. Yeah, apparently this guy named
I haven't read that yet.
Commander X, and that's all we get from him. And his books are actually on Amazon. I was tempted to buy the one that apparently claims this story. He claims that there's like weird, strange magnetic effects in the area around Church and Gerrard Street, and like around where Carlton Street is as well. And it shows signs of like an underground alien base because of those weird magnetic fields. And I mean, also like there's not real much credibility to it because obviously, like, those strange magnetic fields have never actually been proven. But you put it in a book, you're fine.
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
Yeah.
Like,
Apparently,
I believe it.
apparently his reasoning was that, well, I mean, Church and Gerard has the worst worst rate for like car crashes and stuff of that. So it's like, oh well, the strange magnetic fields affect the cars and the traffic lights and stuff around there.
Oh shit, guys. That means that back when I lived home, when I was growing up with my parents, the intersection where all those cars crashed into each other and they eventually had to put a stoplight there because of how many people got hit by cars and cars hit other cars. Does that mean that there's a chance that there's an alien ALF base under my town?
A small colony, maybe.
Yeah, there's a definite possibility.
Yes.
Dunk, 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 dunk. All right, I'm going to go dig it up. Bye, everybody.
All right. I also do like that the article mentions it's like well the real world credibility is lacking, although it might explain why neo-Nazi whack job and Hollow Earth enthusiast Ernst Zundel lived nearby on Carlton Street before being booted from the country in 2005. That is that's quoted from the Torontoist's article.
Yeah, I guess you can just kick neo-Nazis out of your country. I really wish that, like, America would get on that shit already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet. Also, Hollow Earth whack job.
Yeah.
Do y'all believe in the Hollow Earth?
I like the stories. I don't believe
Yeah.
Like, it makes for good pulp.
Would y'all fuck a Morlock?
I see you saw the other part of the article, or like the other mention of that.
Well, yeah, Morlocks do live under the ground in the Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
And so do the lizard people. Would y'all fuck a lizard people?
It depends.
Yeah.
I'd fuck a lizard people.
A people.
I'd fuck all of them. I'd get in that lizard gangbang.
All right.
So,
Welcome to Horny Stocks.
oh god. Yeah. So
Do you think there's a market for monster pornography in, like, all seriousness?
I know there
of
is.
course there is.
Yeah, I bet there is. I have that monster girl thing.
Yeah.
Shit.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Edit all that out.
No.
Good. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. So
we have
then our story begins
Yeah. How do we have it?
with one alien spirit, a spirit that somehow got brought here because of aliens, and it's living underneath. We want to keep it in Toronto, yeah?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Okay. Underneath Toronto.
do we want it to be like extraterrestrial, or do we want it to be extra dimensional?
Oh. Do you mean like a Cthulhu?
Oh, I mean, yeah, like it's something from a parallel dimension that like ended up in our dimension
Like phased in
as
somehow.
yeah.
Is it weird that I like the idea of it being a nature spirit from an alien planet that somehow ended up here?
I
that
do like
works.
that idea. What if
We can go all spirits within on this.
Yeah, I'm
I
like
kept thinking
super.
that.
I never knew how interested I was in the idea of aliens having their own cryptids until right fucking now, and I'm so enthused that I want to write like a splat book about different aliens and the cryptids from their home planet.
please do?
That sounds really cool.
Tight as fuck. I'm gonna make a note. BRB.
Yeah, I was actually like, what we always think of like aliens as being like scientifically empowered and like technologically advanced. What if they're just like crazy occultist types?
Oh, dude,
Like-
like space wizards.
Yeah, well, yeah, or
I could
space
get in on
or
that.
like space shamans or like space wizards. Yeah, like or space
about
spiritualists.
Space
Yeah.
Crowleys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like, because like one thing that drives me nuts about science fiction is like all aliens are always presented as this like homogenous fucking body, in the same way that in fantasy it's like all elves are just humans that are like a little bit like
Nicer.
haughty and hug trees.
Yeah.
Like that's boring as fuck. Look at humanity. We have a bunch of people in the year of our Lord 2018 that still think the fucking earth is flat and also still hollow and full of lizard people. Like there's no fucking way aliens fixed that shit, because if they did, then they can be named King of Magic.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like, the idea of fringist aliens has me really hot right now. I think that's fucking cool. But that's not super prevalent. Is there an alien Bigfoot hunter in this story?
Do we want to have one? And how bad do we, like, how
What if our main
douchey
character's
do
an
we wanna be?
alien?
Okay.
Like,
So, like, have a... Wait.
no,
Now
hold
we're
on,
writing
hold on.
creepypasta for aliens.
Shut up.
So is it
Shut
going to
the
be
fuck
is it
up.
going to be like The Stranger and how or who or why he left or why who or how or why he stayed by Mike Mignola, the Hellboy stuff?
I have zilcho
Or, sorry, not The Stranger, The Visitor.
reference for that. I still nothing. So here's my idea. We do it from the classic first person perspective, and it's an alien, right? And this gives us a way to isolate our protagonist, and maybe the twist about it being an alien is something that we can find a way to, like, weave in. But basically, it's this alien Bigfoot hunter who has come to Toronto specifically to find this spirit that, you know, it knows isn't native to the planet. And it's looking for this spirit because this, like, the tunnel monster doesn't seem particularly dangerous. It sort of just wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
It seems like. And then I think we don't have to ever describe the alien, but if we have humans react really, like, in fear to the protagonist, that could kind of create an interesting ending. I don't see this as being a particularly, like, serious story in this vein, but it does sort of seem a little fresh to me. So it might not be scary. It might just be like, oh, that's a neat little twist.
Yeah, and then, like, do we want to do we want to maybe not reveal that he's an alien until, like, near the end kind of thing? Like,
Oh yeah, big time,
like,
big time,
like,
big time.
people just act negatively to him, or like he's very secretive about his identity, or like very secretive about like what he does.
Oh, I'm saying he's like full on, like, pincers, carapace alien.
Okay, so you're going like
and
full
like
on like just inhuman.
inhuman, hiding from the fringes of society. Like, put an emphasis on, like, ooh, I can't get caught, or I'm going to get in trouble with the authorities. But turns out that it's like alien authorities or like some Area 51 Men in Black authorities type shit.
Yeah.
And then maybe human people trying to find the tunnel monster encounter him or it and realize and like react as if it is the monster.
Now, I am worried we are about to go down a Predator 2 route.
I never watched Predator 2.
Well, it's Predator in the city, so...
And shit. And his base was in the sewers.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So the
I wrote
tunnel
Predator
monster
2,
is
guys,
just
I'm sorry.
the Predator.
Also, you were kind of like you basically just described an episode from Archie's Weird Mysteries. So hey,
Damn it!
Archie related.
All right. Fine. Our main character isn't an alien.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Listen, it was a big ask.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So what do we want then? Who's our main person? I feel like we've done boys both episodes. I'm thinking we should pick up a femme.
That's true.
I mean, I was just going to say maybe have, like, a utility worker.
Yeah. There's plenty of work for subterranean workers.
A reason
Yes.
to be down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely gives you a reason.
I like it.
Actually, I think even the wiki had an interview with somebody from like the sewer system, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know if I believe this whole like tunnel monster thing, but I mean, if you work down in the sewers long enough, you see some things." That was literally that was one of the person's like comment to the whole like sewer monster thing. And they worked down in the like subterranean Toronto area.
That's some shit that's like, yeah, you work on a boat long enough and you start seeing manatees as mermaids. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But I could say, like, maybe like a utility worker or a survey crew, like somebody that's doing like surveys of like some old tunnels or like the river systems or something.
Yeah, or even like maybe even a cop like going in because I think it was 2 years ago they found a tunnel system in a park near a convention center in Toronto, and they were all concerned that it was like some kind of like terrorist plot or something like that. and they like went in because it had been like basically a tunnel like that could basically fit a person, like a full adult person, and it stretched like about maybe 20, 30 feet. And it had like the right structuring and all that stuff. And it turned out it was just some guy who just had gone out there over on the weekends and dug a tunnel because he wanted to have a fort. But like have it be like darker than that or like less mundane than that.
That's a hero.
And like because the cops and like the police and authorities were all about it. Like the newspapers were talking about it, and this guy basically just like I just did it to make a fort.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah,
I wanted to have the tightest fort.
The reason why the reason why they were also concerned was because they weren't sure if it was like some kind of plot because there was an event going on in the I think it's the Rexdale Convention Center or the Rexdale Arena or something, some kind of sports complex. And yeah, like it's just again like a tunnel system that they just found in the middle of a park. So yeah, like them like doing
That's
like
weird.
investigating that, and then it go deeper into like the more creepypasta stuff.
Okay, yeah. So it's like he's in the sewer,
Yeah.
and then there's like a tunnel in the sewer where previously there was not, and it looks like hewn by hand.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like yeah, I was as soon as you said like in the sewer and they find like a tunnel, I was immediately thinking of like just something dug through the concrete into the side of the wall.
That's where I'm at too. Ooh, okay. So how do we feel about also incorporating sort of the water spirit angle from this? Like maybe the cuts look like they were made with perchance like a high pressure water cutter.
Okay, yeah.
That works.
Yep.
I would say, like, as it gets closer, like, as it's pursuing our protagonist, like, the water might either, like, rise or lower to kind of signal its presence.
Ooh.
Oh, no. That's how you get hepatitis. Okay, I'm in.
All right.
In for hepatitis. All right.
So... like, so what is our spook? What is our scare? Because this creature doesn't seem like particularly aggressive, and I'm also one thing that I hate about creepypasta stories is like, and then he was eating a live cat.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That kind of bullshit is super not scary and is super boring. So, like, what is our scare? What is our creature's reason for fucking with this person?
What if it's territorial to the old river systems, but the territory is also because of all the tunnels that are coming in? What if its territory is basically growing? Like it feels like it can expand its territory now.
Is this another period piece set during when the tunnels were being initially constructed?
I mean, it could go, because it would be basically between the 70s, like late 70s to the 2000s. Like, that's...
Because that could be interesting, because then we have a reason to explore that tunnel.
To be fair,
rather than, it's 2018, and of course I'm not going down that tunnel.
Yeah.
Whereas it's 1979, and like, oh, this must be one of the new tunnels that they were constructing or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I don't...
I guess I better go and finish my survey.
I wonder if the subway... I don't know if the Toronto subways were being done that long ago.
We'd have to figure out, like, what... Basically, yeah. I'm presenting this story as being pitched at whatever point the subways or the sewer tunnels were being built.
Son of a bitch. 1954.
Give us that suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, about 1950s. Was when they began.
It's the 50s. So. Hitler has just been defeated.
The 50s works because people were dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were dumb as shit. Okay, so maybe this is one of those just like, I found my grandpappy's diary. I don't know why I sound like a grandpappy, but I found my grandpappy's diary, and he spoke of something in the shores of Toronto.
I was almost thinking, like, if we said it, like, shortly after, like, maybe a few years, even like a year or two after the article goes out, like after 1978. What if it's just like somebody who had heard about that article and was like interested. It's like curiosity killed the cat.
Oh, man, you just wanted to get that pun in,
I
didn't
didn't
you?
even realize it until I was halfway through it. Like, oh, it fits. Damn.
Okay. I think I'm sold on the utility worker.
Yeah, I do like the utility worker aspect because, like, apparently there's a lot. You can get a lot of like weird stories from them based on that one guy, on that one person's comment. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so our utility worker is just like working in the tunnels, maybe mapping out like maybe we can just plot it as they're planning on doing some expansions to like certain tunnels.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And it stumbles into like this thing's territory nest kind of area, and then it just kind of like chases them around the tunnel for a bit.
Yeah. Like they're surveying and then they stumble across one of the naturally occurring tunnels. Like river tunnels.
What if it's nice? What if, and follow me here. What if it's a nice monster? And what if the area that the human has walked into is straight up dangerous for the human?
Oh, so it's like
maybe there's methane gas that's been like a little bit of a leak, because this creature can talk and it continually says like go away in that story we heard. So what if now we sort of have that like voices bouncing off of an echoous chamber aesthetic, a lot of like go aways and like angry hissing, just like general ways to try and get this person to leave, but we learn towards the end of the story that it was for his own good.
Yeah.
Because like he's gonna, something in here might kill him if he's not very careful, like a sinkhole or something.
Yeah, I definitely think that you could have it basically it being sort of like a mistaken, not mistaken identity, but a mistaken purpose kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like
zero context.
His
problem?
assumptions are against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that called the zero context problem or something? Like we think it's monstrous because it looks monstrous, and then it's actually just trying to help us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something along those lines.
yeah. So basically, make this creature kind of like a Tommyknocker, like the
Outside context problem.
that's the one. Yeah, where it's like trying to warn you of something underground, and it's actually not. It's doing it in a monstrous way, but it's really just trying to get you away from something that's worse, like something.
Yeah,
the ground,
like-
the environment is toxic to the human, to the human occupant. Either like again, like a methane, like we said, a methane leak or something like that, or flooding maybe.
What if the monster doesn't eat cats?
Okay.
I mean, I don't say the cat part necessarily having to be an absolute.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with canaries and coal mines?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
What if that's the first reference that something's off? Like, it does not have. It's not a mangled cat. We just like as the dude is walking, he steps on something soft, and like he looks down and it like picks his foot up, and there is a dead cat. Like, which I know isn't great, but like maybe this cat also wandered down into the sewers. But like following the methane thing, and again, does not have to be methane. It's just what I'm working with for this example.
It could be the other dimension that the thing came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm done
Sold.
with that.
So, oh shit. Okay. So whatever alien thing like sustained this creature,
Yeah.
it is toxic to
Human life.
other creatures.
Yeah. Because it's an alien spirit
And
creature.
like that is why it lives in the sewers, because like this air that it breathes or whatever, like whatever this chemical it needs that functions as an additive with oxygen in high quantities, which is where this guy is heading towards, it becomes lethal to like earthling lungs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that, Noah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So then yeah, where do we go now, boys?
yeah, because so we have like the utility worker finds a tunnel that shouldn't be there when he's surveying, and then starts getting spooks of like, or like weird warnings and messages, or like weird warnings and callings, and then again sees the dead cat, maybe notes that like it's strange. It's like, do we want to have it like note that it's strange that it just looks at the cat? Like there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the cat. Like,
I think he should note it, but I also think he should blame this monster.
Yeah. Okay.
That works. It seems like something got it.
Yeah.
Like maybe
up
have
until the twist reveal.
maybe have
he
whatever
thinks
sort of
it
tracks this thing is leaving like nearby.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I'm trying to think of like where to go next after, because this guy's getting spooked.
I think that this is just a very short story.
It could be, yeah. And then
I don't think we need to really have this like classic arc.
So I think we discover the cat, we discover the markings.
do we get
There's the
like,
echoing voices.
There's some echoing voices. The guy gets, or our protagonist gets lost for like a little bit, and then he's chased out.
Yeah, so we
by
do
the
get a
thing.
reveal of the creature itself, like of some kind, or like maybe
At least a little bit
like
of it.
the
We
silhouette
don't have
with the
to see the
glowing red
whole
eyes.
thing. Yeah, for sure we need the glowing red eyes. But how do we figure out, how do we get the protagonist? Okay, what if the protagonist passes out, actually?
Ooh.
Because he gets too close to this toxic thing, but then he wakes up back at the mouth of the tunnel, and when he looks back, he can see the thing's footsteps and his drag mark, basically. Like, this thing got him out.
Yeah.
I think as we discover the cat, like there could be some like starting to feel like lightheaded, that kind of thing, where like the atmosphere is affecting them, and like
He writes it off to, like, panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
passes out, and then like as he's being dragged out, he like comes to for like half a second, like catches a glimpse of something dragging him, or he feels like himself dragging, and then he's at the tunnel and then waking up like for sure.
And then he's just like, I'm just gonna get out of here. It's like, nope.
Yeah. We can leave it as, like, an inferred, like, what do you think happened?
Yeah.
It still gives you enough to realize without being like, and then I saw the alien architecture, and I cannot even describe the shapes.
Just
we don't go into a...
no. We don't go into that.
we don't go into the Mountains of Madness effect.
So basically what I'm hearing is that we're basically recounting one of the stories that subterranean worker had after before commenting on, there's some weird shit down there.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It could be even like we could do it in like a newspaper interview kind of style, where it's somebody interviewing somebody, like after their shift at work about this one event kind of thing.
Oh, we do it in like, this is an entry from like a National Enquirer piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, really cast doubt on this whole sitch in universe.
Yeah,
I love this.
Yeah.
I like this story. I don't think that there's very many good ways to tell a story with this critter, but I think that this is a pretty darn good story, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like thinking on it now, like for the story, like for the creature itself, like the kind of like the speculation of like what everything around this like central sighting in the 70s is more interesting than trying to focus it into something. But like I do like the story that we've tried to focus into it. But like you said, like trying to expand the creature, like it's a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
It's just such a, I don't know, like there's not too much going on. It's definitely like one of those classic city monster kind of things where it's just like a thing that lives underneath the city, and if you go down there, it's gonna get you.
Yeah.
It doesn't want you down there.
Yeah. Which
you boys neglected to give this guy a pre-stock and what you think its highest expectations are.
Like,
I tried to get you to do that, but then you were like, no, don't rate it at a -10, Kyle.
Even though I can't really actually putting it a rating to it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Like, our story is obviously fine.
Yeah.
Like, our story is good. But I would consider that the peak of what this critter can achieve. Like, so often, the hide behind, I bet there could be scarier stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I doubt it.
Yeah, like
So I'm going to put this at a -5 before, and I'm going to say a 2 at most. So I definitely think you could potentially do like a horde of these underneath the city kind of thing.
Some Morlock shit.
Yeah. But for the most part, it's always described as being kind of like monkey-like, and I want a howler monkey coming at me in like the tunnel.
Jeez.
Like, it's not great, but it's not like the most horrifying thing I can think of.
Yeah, like, I would buy here's the thing. I would buy a plush of this creature.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, this critter's at home in, like, a Gravity Falls, Erie, Indiana kids horror story so that we can sell merchandise.
Yeah.
Shit, that brings it up to at least a 3 for me.
See, with the diversity of, like, initially mine stock was actually at a 2, mainly because, like, of just because of the diversity. Well, also because I'm sorry, it's just Canadian patriotism.
Yeah.
But also because of just the diversity I saw, the potential I saw in it. Like with the again, we have the nature spirit angle, we have the cryptid angle, we have the alien base connection, kind of building up on a larger universe, or like building on a larger mythos to it. But then, like,
so that's your potential angle is the 2. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your adjusted number then?
probably a 1.
You're the only one with a net loss.
because I see the potential, but then when we come to practice, like I do like our story. Our story is tight, but some of the wonderment is gone for me. Like because we're not. We're like because we. Like it started off for me. It started off as this like kind of like, oh, we have all these different avenues, and then then when we focus down on it, it's like there's really no other way we could do it. So net loss a little bit.
So I would say with some confidence that the Toronto Tunnel Monster is absolutely a short sell stock, like. Scoop it up and sell it as quickly as you can. Definitely short sale. Without too much growth potential or return. You could buy very low, but I don't think you're going to make a lot of spooky bucks returns on your sale.
Yeah. A quick turnaround, some walking around creepypasta.
It's good for the young investor.
Yeah.
Yes, the young Canadian investor.
If you're a young Canadian looking to invest in your first monster stock, this would be a good one, but don't sit on it until you're 18. Like, scoop it up and get rid of it after, like, a couple of months.
Yeah.
All right. I think that covers it.
Yeah.
I like the story. I think we could turn this into a fairly successful episode of a television series for children.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely fits more of a Gravity Falls angle kind of creature.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I like children's horror. I think children's horror is where the most inventive horror takes place.
Yeah.
Like, some of it's really drivelly, but, like, children's horror has to be so restrained, and some of it is so successful. Like, it's my favorite age group for horror because it doesn't have, like, needless Eli Roth gore.
Yeah. It's just,
which is just such a pain.
Or like I said, like we said earlier, Ernest Scared Stupid, like, scared us both of us as children.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
oh,
and
dude,
but there's no gore in that. It's literally just slime.
Yeah, exactly.
At worst.
There are some episodes of, like, R.L. Stein's The Witching Hour that is on Netflix that I watched that I was like, oh, fuck this noise. Like, do not play this to me anymore. Because it genuinely was, like, a little unnerving. And there's still episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark that'll fucking get me all excited and scared.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to be willing to restrain yourself. Restraint is horror, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any idea what we want to do next? Because I think we usually mention what we want to do next, unless I'm drunk.
No, we do.
I vote for El Silbón.
Okay,
It is...
you have to explain to me what that was, because I have no idea what that is.
Okay. So El Silbón is a South American, basically like undead.
Okay.
That is known... El Silbón literally translates into like the whistler. It is a whistling specter that kills... what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like philanderers, like very horny men, like lady killers, and drunks. It is. It's kind of a tragic figure that has to sort of arise from a very specific circumstance, and really, there's only believed to be one. That's why it's the Silbón instead of like a plural Silbón. Nice. I really, really, really like this critter. But there's not a lot of conflicting information on it. But that's just my pitch. If y'all have monsters, I'm all ears.
Just based on that description, it kind of reminds me of a ghost story I heard while I was in Newfoundland. In St. John's, there's a bar. Now I can't think of the name. But eventually, I went on one of their haunted hikes, and they were talking about a story that happened in the alleyway, like parallel to this bar. And the bar's been around since like the city was founded, and apparently there's a ghost of a killed of a young lady of the night, and she would her spirit has kind of like cursed the area supposedly, and basically pulls like sirens, like drunks, and like nasty drunks, like not like just your everyday drunks, but the guys that are like basically who killed her, and lure them into the alleyway, and then after hearing a horrible guttural screams, people would race to the alleyway and find an exsanguinated corpse.
Ooh,
and the creepy ghost girl like smiling there, cackling, and then vanish.
Oh, fuck that shit. Yeah, no, El Silbón is very much like a dude.
Oh,
like
okay.
It's a masculine. Yeah, but it's like... it's one of the most feminist ghosts I've ever met.
Yeah.
And it like walks around with like a sack full of bones.
Oh.
Yeah, because like I don't want to give away what the actual story is if we do a full episode on it. But yeah, what if we just did an episode on monsters with sacks? Well, no, because there's El Silbón, there's the Sack Man, there's Krampus. Like, there's a lot of stuff.
I was wondering if we were also have to mention the Tanuki.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Santa
Different
Claus.
sack.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Noah, do you have any monster that's been tickling your fancy?
I kind of like the Fresno alien.
The night crawlers.
Fresno,
right?
Yeah, the Nightcrawler.
Those
What?
like the legs, basically.
Yeah,
Fresno.
they're like kind of cute, but
But like we have no idea what the hell they are.
yeah, aka the
Oh, look
Fresno
at
alien.
these little goofballs. They look like clothespins.
Yeah.
But they just nobody knows what they are. Like they're just these weird white legs
Oh.
that move.
I found a really good gif of one of these little friends just sort of... They look like a fucking Pokemon that's midway through its evolution.
yeah,
Yeah,
kinda.
All right. I'm not against them either. Ooh, what cryptid are you? Take the quiz. Don't mind if I do. Okay, so I guess then the question comes down to, do we want to do aliens, or do we just want to talk offline and figure out if we're doing something completely different?
Yeah, we can do either.
Because I very much like how obscure the stuff we've been hitting up is,
Yeah.
and both of them sound really obscure.
Yeah, and,
I mean, unless you live in like Colombia
Yeah.
and Venezuela
and then it's
and Fresno,
has
I
to become
guess.
knowledge.
I'm extra large.
No, yeah, I think we could do we could probably do like a vengeful spirit kind of topic where we
Okay.
talk about like the El Savon and
Like
The-
La Llorona ties into vengeful spirits too.
Yeah.
Like, ooh,
Okay,
can
so-
we do a vengeful spirit episode?
Yeah, we can do that.
So then, what if we all present a vengeful spirit next time we do this, I almost said next week.
Yes.
Next time we do this, we all come with a vengeful spirit, and then we all those spirits get ratings, but then we pick one, and that's the one we write about.
Okay. I'm going to have to plan a little intro, though, because it's like, all right, welcome to Monster Talks, Part 4, with a vengeance. Because we're talking about spirits with a vengeance. Anyways, yeah, I'm sorry.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but no, that sounds good to me.
All right, cool.
All right, I'm into it.
All right.
I'm halfway through the cryptid wiki personality quiz. You also do the intros, and my outro will be what cryptid I am.
Fair enough. All right, so, yeah, that was Monster Stock, presented by Al Dente Rigor Mortis. Do you guys have anything you'd like to plug right now? Before I go into
there's our shows,
Yes.
obviously.
Obviously,
So
yes.
there's the show that me and Kyle do, Maple Syrup Blood Money, which is our Riverdale Archie Comics podcast.
Doesn't have enough ghosts.
It doesn't have enough
No.
ghosts, unfortunately.
The season needs more
the ghost of
ghosts.
Jason Blossom has not shown up this season, and it's really
I
disappointing.
thought for sure that agent guy was going to be a ghost.
Yeah, yeah. There's, I'm sure we'll do some episodes on the Sabrina show once that comes out. They've
Yeah,
actually
for
done
sure.
a bunch of like casting announcements for that. So,
Nice.
so that's the main show that me and Kyle do. I do a couple like role playing game podcasts. The Role Playing Exchange, which is like the main one I do with my friends Adam and Chris. And then I'm also on the Technical Difficulties Gaming podcast, where I've been running like No Soul Left Behind and have been a part of a couple campaigns of that. Other than that, you can find like my Twitter. I'm at Kamen Otaku, KamenOtaku. You can follow the Maple Syrup Blood Money Twitter at Maple and Blood. That's MapleAndBlood. So
Nice. Are you good?
yeah, and that should be it for me. What about you, Kyle?
You want to hit your boy up on the Twitter, which I am still trying to use a little bit more often. It's at Best Pal Brigade. Relatively straightforward spelling. You want to watch my attempt to run a fantasy campaign and setting that isn't incredibly problematic. You can check us out at twitch.tv/bestpalbrigade, where we stream our weekly games.
Now, Kyle, when is the alien Alf going to show up in this campaign?
Oh, today. I'm streaming today, the 24th of February. And I am going to put an alien Alf in this episode. You rest
Nice.
assured.
All right.
But if you want to support like me in particular, I have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Kyle Carty, where I post a lot of role-playing content, like player materials and GM materials. The month of March is all horror themed, so I've made a couple of Monster of the Week playbooks that I'm going to be uploading. I'm going to be making a couple of I believe there's still going to be Monster of the Week adventures that I'm going to be posting there. Yeah, and if you want to follow me at facebook.com/BPB Games, that really helps. We just announced our next big Kickstarter, which is Savage Tokusatsu, a Savage Worlds adaptation of classic Tokusatsu, like Transforming Heroes and Kaiju rules, which is just a goddamn delight, and we're receiving a lot of really, really good feedback on. But yeah, that's basically all I've got going right now. March is horror month. Stay tuned.
Nice. Always a fan of horror.
I couldn't gather that.
Yeah, I know. It is.
What about you? Where can folks find you?
Well, I'm at Review Cultist on Twitter, and our show is on Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Kiwi6, if you happen to be on Kiwi6. And you can also send us emails at aldenterigormortis@gmail.com. That's ALDNTERIGAMORTIS@gmail.com. where you can also leave us suggestions for other creepypastas or monsters that you think should get more spotlight.
Oh yeah, that's a huge one.
What?
Like, give us leads.
Yeah, it's just like, because, like, I mean, I feel like at some point, maybe down the road, we should do, like, a Wendigo one, but, like, try and find a way to break the mold of the Wendigo. But...
Yeah. Listen, if anyone can do it, it might be us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in us.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to support the show, go to Patreon, look up Al Dente Rigor Mortis. We have backer tiers for behind-the-scenes episodes, or behind-the-scenes content, special episodes for the patrons, and early access episodes. And if you are already a patron, thank you immensely. You're helping keep those hosting bills at bay, and we very much appreciate that. So, until next time, this has been Al Dente Rigor Mortis Presents Monster Stocks, Part 3. I have been your host, Review Occultist.
No,
I've been your other host, Noah Carden.
And I have been your winged, bat-like, primate cryptid, Kyle Ahul Cardi. That's what I got. It's a big bat monkey in Indonesia that eats people.
Apparently there's one like that in North America, too, but it has antlers. Because of course it does.
Oh, Dunk, it's a periton. Yeah, that's a periton. Thank you for listening.
All right. Sleep well.